We are back. We are back with another top 5 of the week. First off, Happy New Month to everyone. And second, we did a thing on this platform. My team and I launched our first ever newsletter. It's a monthly dispatch that brings together important and thought-provoking information from Africa's development and social change space right to your inbox. So subscribe if you haven't yet. So for this week, and as always, we have a great lineup of publications for you, touching on the potential of the AFCFTA, civil liberties in Africa, gender and ICT in agriculture and rural development, COVID-19 and child rights, and a look back at FAO's work in the last 75 years. Let's get into it then. First up is UNICEF's short report on the impact of COVID-19 on children. The publication notes that school closures have compounded the suffering of children. As families' incomes and livelihoods take a hit, children are suffering the effects of increased household poverty, including poor diet and malnutrition, and limited access to basic health services. In the report, UNICEF and partners call on governments and the international community to take a concerted action to mitigate the effects of COVID-19 pandemic and associated control measures through the following means. 1. Intensify efforts for all children to learn, including by closing the digital divide. 2. Expand access to health and nutrition services and make vaccines affordable and available to every child. 3. Support and protect the mental health of children and young people and bring an end to abuse, gender-based violence, and neglect in childhood. 4. Increase access to clean water, sanitation and hygiene, and address environmental degradation and climate change. 5. Reverse the rise in child poverty and ensure an inclusive recovery for all. And finally, at 6, redouble efforts to protect and support children and their families living through conflict, disaster, and displacement. Up next, we present a report from the Food and Agriculture Organization that looks at the benefits of ICTs when placed in the hands of men and women working in agriculture and in rural areas. It examines the challenges to be overcome and makes recommendations so that rural communities can take full and equal advantage of the technologies. It offers a series of recommendations for better integration of gender in ICT initiatives and notes that closing the gap in women's access to a broad range of technologies could help in freeing their time for more productive activities, enhancing their agricultural productivity, improving the market returns they receive, and empowering them to make choices that are better for themselves and their families. Even though I try not to do this very often, I couldn't resist sharing another publication from the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. This time, it is a publication to celebrate 75 years of the existence of FAO. The report chronicles and celebrates FAO's history and record to date in fighting hunger and poverty around the world. If you get hold of a hard copy, it would make for an excellent coffee table book. Also, I was today's years old when I found out FAO has an app on Google Play and the Apple Store. Check it out and tell me what you think. I promise this episode is not sponsored by the FAO. Moving right along to our fourth recommendation, which is one of Afrobarometer's policy papers titled, Are Africans' Freedoms Slipping Away? The report takes the measure of popular demand for and government supply of basic individual rights and freedoms as captured in Afrobarometer's survey carried out in 34 countries between late 2016 and late 2018. It also looks at how attitudes, experiences, and perceptions have changed over the past decade. The result of the survey also reveals a decline in popular demand for freedom, in particular the right to associate freely. Last but certainly not least is a working paper authored by Hippolyte Fofak, the Chief Economist and Director of Research and International Cooperation at the African Export-Import Bank. The paper reviews the potential development impact of the AfCFTA and provides a comprehensive analysis of reforms and programs required to ensure the agreement's successful implementation. The document highlights that in Africa, the benefits of trade integration are likely to be just as significant if the AfCFTA is successfully implemented. If the AfCFTA's promise is fulfilled, the paper reveals that this could end forever the recurrence of balance of payment crises that have exposed countries to the diktat of the Washington Consensus for decades. And that is all I have for you guys this week. I hope you found it useful. And if you have been sending us your favorite publications and reports, please continue to do so. Till next week, stay safe and goodbye, everyone.